Alright, what's up everybody? Abe here, and today I'm going to bring you a comparison video between a JDM ECU for a Honda and a USDM ECU for a Honda. Alright, both of these are OBD1 ECUs, and the way you tell is through the sockets here. There's a diagram online that you can find that'll tell you or show you the difference between a OBD1 ECU, a OBD2B, and an OBD2A, and they also have an OBD20 ECU. You can find that on hondatech.com. That's how I pretty much found out what the differences are. Alright, so this specific JDM unit is a P30. They typically are in Honda Del Sols and Honda Civics that are running a B16. This one here is a P28. You can find these in your single cam VTEC engines, maybe your D16Y8s, your Z6s. These are typically the ones that'll run in those. So there's a big difference obviously internally with both of these ECUs. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I just picked up a Hondata chipped ECU, which is this one here. Although it is a JDM one, it still will run my engine perfectly. This specific ECU also is chipped. It actually came with my Civic wagon, and it's specifically chipped for a LS. And the way you pretty much tell if a ECU is chipped is it'll have this little chip right here. I don't know if you can pretty much see it in the camera there, but it'll have a chip that says SST is what it looks like. So you can kind of see through this one. I have a clear plastic on this P28. I'm going to open up these ECUs here so you can visually see the differences on the inside now. Alright, so we zoomed in a little bit here so you can see a better visual, or get a better visual perspective of how these ECUs look like on the inside. Again, the main motherboard on both of these ECUs are here, and obviously the JDM one is a little bit smaller than the USDM one. And the JDM ECU, the P30, has an extra chip here, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the knock sensor chip, or the knock sensor board. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. And another thing that pretty much pops out on you is the Hondata S300 chip that I have here. It's the S300J version of S300. It's version 2. As you know, they already have V3. This is a generation behind. I didn't justify spending more on an ECU for V3. V2 will get the job done for me. So again, this ECU can run any B series, H series, D series engine with no issues, whether it's JDM or a USDM engine. And same goes for the P28. The biggest advantages both of these ECUs have is flexibility. You could pretty much chip these ECUs and they could run any B series and H series engines, like I said. And the way you tell if you're gonna go out and buy a used ECU and someone tells you that it's chipped, the biggest thing that you need to look for is the actual chip, which I'll show you on the P28, because typically a lot of people will say they have a chip P28 or chip P30, P72, or some type of ECU, and they go ahead and sell it to you and it's not chipped at all. But like I was trying to show you before, but the glass was in the way. The way you can tell if your ECU is chipped or not, because a lot of people like to sell non-chipped ECUs to us honest buyers out here, is you just got to look here. You got to make sure this has a chip that says SST. Now, I don't know if there's any other brands out there. Every ECU or chipped ECU I've ever bought had this SST chip right here, and that's your giveaway that this is a chipped ECU. Alright, so the biggest thing to consider when running either a JDM ECU or a USDM ECU is the ability to scan it with a scanner. When I say scanner, I mean like if you have a check engine light for any reason and you need to find out what it is. Apparently a JDM ECU will not pick up what the check engine light, or the scanner can't read what the check engine light is off a JDM ECU. Now obviously with the USDM ECU you won't have that problem. I don't know why it is. I haven't really looked. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really looked more in depth as to why, or if it's, if it's true, or if maybe it's because someone went to AutoZone and try to get their car scanned by a cheaper AutoZone scanner. Not saying AutoZone scanners are bad, but I feel like there's more advanced scanners out there. I'll just leave it at that. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like my biggest thing to consider when running these two ECUs is the ability to scan check engine lights. So again, the biggest thing to point out with these two is the Hondata chip here. This will give you the ability to tweak any numbers when you're tuning. Specifically for my setup, as you guys know, if you follow my channel, I'm in the middle of a build process, building up my Civic wagon to run a substantial amount of horsepower. Well, not substantial, maybe, to me maybe average enthusiast 400 horsepower, I guess, in a Honda or in a PC or whatever the case may be. This video is on these two ECUs. Alright, so I also almost failed to mention that this specific ECU here, as you saw, that it has this KS, little logo here with a little turbo there. This ECU is specifically manufactured, or not manufactured, but altered by a company called KS Tuned. I looked a little bit further into them before I bought this ECU, just to make sure they're a legitimate company. I looked at their website. Everything they do to these ECUs in order to get them running successfully with a Hondata S300 unit is, in my opinion, top notch. They inspect the board after installation, and they test it before they ship it out. And they replace a few little components here on the motherboard. I forgot which ones, but they replace specific little components that tend to give out over time. Again, if you ever consider having a Hondata chip, please get it installed by a reputable installer or company that has had experience doing it, because they could really, mess up your investment if not done right. Alright guys, if you can recall, in one of my previous videos I did mention if I get to 100 subscribers I'll be giving away a turbo for free. Now I have a spare Borg Warner GM8 turbo that obviously needs a rebuild, if you saw my video that I did on it a few months ago, I believe. So we're almost there. We're almost at 100 subscribers, so as promised, I'm going to be giving it away once I hit that 100 subscriber goal. So the way you enter is you follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, and I'm just going to pick a random fan to send the turbo to. Obviously I'm going to cover the shipping for you because you're doing me the favor by subscribing to my channel and growing it. So again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time guys, peace.